Well, good afternoon, good evening to all of you coming in the show. I see Lisa Cantu's already here.
Wow. Hi, Lisa.
Good to see you already. Can you hear me, Paul? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Okay. Welcome to my show. This is Faye's Angels. My name is Faye Garza. I do this show weekly. I have fantastic lineup of guests, including the one that we see in front of us. Um, I am married to a psychic medium, Highland, Roger Garza Sr., and together we have live shows twice a week. And this show is a spin-off, I think I can call it that, from those other shows because we talk while Roger does some reads during the show. People have asked many questions that fascinated me, and I thought, well, let's delve into this a little further with the Phase Angels. And also, of course, Paul, you were very instrumental in encouraging me to do the show, and I want to thank you for it because I'm meeting some wonderful people.
No need
And
for thanks. You were destined.
uh, so, I mean, we are having this show again with Paul Francis because we had wonderful conversation last week. Hi, Maria. Good to see you. We have several people joining us. We've got Lynn. We have Leanne from New Zealand. Or is
Oh,
this New?
Leanne from New Zealand. Hi, Leanne.
Wow, wonderful. It sounds like she's a friend of yours.
Oh, she's a darling. Absolute
And
sweetheart.
that's awesome. And Lisa, of course, good to see you. And Maria Magdalene Nolan, good to see you. I'm so glad you joined us tonight, and we'll have hopefully some more people who want to join us in the conversation.
Yeah.
And
Put
so
the
here's
word out there. Tell everybody, guys. Share the show. Come on.
share the show. We were talking a little bit before the show. And of course, it always gets fascinating when I talk to you, Paul. Because in between shows that I do, I'm always I'm kind of researching and finding new topics and people to talk about,
Mm.
and I'm on my own journey as well. And so things start to sprout, and I think that more questions appear than answers for me. Tell you the truth, I thought, I'm not and I'm still getting I'm still getting answers, and I think that's all part of the deal, isn't it?
I think it
Uh,
is. I think I mean, the it's a daily strive for me to gain knowledge. I love learning. I love it.
mhm,
Um, I always say I'm always open to the process. There may
yeah,
be areas that are presented to me, and my whole psyche is going, yeah, right, whatever. Um, but I'm still open. I won't go, nah. You
yeah,
know, I mean, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Sorry, I have to be completely honest here. There will be areas where I'm going to go, nah. You
okay,
know, if people say to me, da 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 da, and I know factual that that's just not true, I'll go, nah. You know, so it's. But if people. I remember learning a lesson, and this person had said to me, "Hey, water holds memory," and I was like, "What?" And they were like, "Water holds memory," and I was, "Yeah, whatever. Okay, lay off the juice, and then I kind of went home, and first of all, I was slightly disgraced at myself for immediately going no
yeah,
and saying, "Okay, right, okay, that's interesting. I'll go on." I should have said, "That's interesting. I'll go and learn a bit more about that," and I did. And of course, at the end of it all, water is still energy.
right,
Okay, and energy has the ability to have like its version of a memory. Okay, so water holds memory, and I if I had been a excuse me please everybody listening around the world, a dumbass, and just poo-pooed that, I would have lost valuable data. I would have lost valuable education. So I'm open to everything. If someone says something to me and part of my psyche is going, sure,
Mhm.
I will take that away and I'll do multiples of research on it until my
Mhm.
whole being is going, no, that's not right.
So what that brings me to the question, and we talked a little bit about that before the show.
Yeah.
It is what is important to you as a psychic medium? What is the important thing for you
All
as
right.
you are
In what respect?
um as far as I don't know if you can call it true things that are true,
Hmm.
people who are not to mislead, I don't know.
Oh gosh. Oh, that's a paramount to me. That's a law in the Paul Francis Bible. You cannot just lead people down a road just to make yourself feel important. Okay,
Mhm.
I've always taught I've taught the fact that all psychics must, not should, must take responsibility for the information they give, because that information, when you're going blah, you might think, be going, oh, hey, listen to me, aren't I good? But the person receiving that blah is going to act upon that with their life.
Right.
Okay, it's going to affect their life, their lives, and their psychic thought, psychic being, psychic persona. Okay, it can install a sense of fear beyond what you didn't even comprehend.
Mhm.
People can be, if I convince a sitter, a person, an audience member, if I convince them they're going to break their ankle, if I'm saying, listen to me, I'm being told you're going to break your ankle, that person will break their ankle because
Right.
they're convinced they're going to do it. So they will put themselves in that position where they will actually hurt themselves. Okay, so there was one that I really want to. There's a some. You know what? There's no other word for this person other than moron. Was convincing, telling the audience that their loved ones in spirit were actually in hospital in spirit and very sick. And I literally wanted to find where this guy was and literally go and arrest him. I really did. I mean, the crap this guy's spewing out to people
Mhm.
was just absolute tripe. But what he doesn't understand is that he's like, they're going, oh yes, they're in hospital and they're not well. And I'm thinking, you moron! If I get close to you, you'll be the one in hospital, because the people that's receiving this are now thinking, oh, not only did I lose my loved one, but now they're sick.
Yeah,
You
and
know
that's
what? Total crap.
total rubbish, right?
Oh.
Honestly.
So
Yeah.
psychics must take responsibility for the information they give. Now, if I say something to you, Faye, let's look at last week's show. I saw an energy behind you. The
Yes.
energy immediately told me sister, and I
Yes.
said to you, when I said, "Hey, Faye, do you have a sister or spirit?" Because
Yes.
but I was giving you the information, and then I was validating that data. I
Yes, you
wasn't
were.
just spewing it at you.
No.
Okay, I was get the
Mhm.
information, validate the information. It's who you are, the validation, why you're here. That's what reading should be.
Right.
Who you are, who am I connected to? What's the validation of that connection? I.e., a sister in your case. Why
Yes.
you're here, to let you know that I'm not only here right now, but I've been with you. In fact, let me give you some information to say I was here earlier because whatever that information was. Um, a read doesn't have to be heavy. Oh my God, think about it for a second. Faye, when the time comes, and it's a long way down the line, by the way, okay, so order your Zimmer frame now. So, um, when the time comes when you go home, alrighty,
Yep.
are you going to want to be going, oh my darling, I'm so happy with you? Or are you going to be going, hey, I'm with you right now, things are great?
I know. Yeah,
That's
no,
what you're
that
going to be, bouncy and upbeat. And I listen to some of these heavy, heavy readings, and I'm thinking, number one, most of that information is incorrect. Number two, the sitter who's receiving the information, who wanted to hear from their loved one, is now going away feeling, oh,
Really bad. Yeah, no. I
no.
felt really wonderful after you heard I mean, and it was validated with, she was mussing with my hair,
Yeah.
and she did that when I was a little she's always fixing my hair, cutting it
Well, you
and
have you have somebody with you tonight that has like a Joe, Joseph, Josh, like that kind of a name. The name is being given to me like a Joe, or Faye. I want you to take it on board what I'm saying, but it could be one of your audience members. So it's like a Josh, Joseph, Josh. That kind of a name is being shouted at me. Okay, and there's
okay.
something to do with construction here as being part of this particular link because I'm seeing bricks and mortar being laid out.
I have to write
Um,
that down.
yeah, sure. Um, but I have to say this to you: when we met, backstage earlier, that name came in, and I was looking at it, and I thought,
Wow.
okay, well, Josh, wait, don't present yourself until we come in, because she may not want to hear from you, and it's Faye's show. It's not my show. Take your time. But he was like
Wow.
insistent. So it's either with your good self or one of your lovely, the people who are coming to watch the show tonight. But
I'll get back to you on that one.
yeah.
That
I'm
is
trying to bring you up on my cell phone so I can watch the show and see who's talking to us. I've got my cell phone link. So,
oh,
but I
that's
can't find the link. I can't find the link to your show.
oh, me?
Yeah,
Okay.
on
Uh,
YouTube. What's it called on
it's just
YouTube?
called Faye's Angels,
Okay,
Faye apostrophe S Angels,
Faye
apostrophe
apostrophe
S
S Space
Angels,
Angels. Okay, I'm
YouTube.
just typing that in so maybe I can see who's chatting with us.
Alrighty. So,
Anyway, so yeah,
Lisa's got a question. I don't even know what it is, but let's put it up there and I can read it to you.
sure.
When hearing somebody speak and the sound of their voice makes you want to move away, or in your mind you're thinking, "Shut up." Could it could it be your gut instinct about that person, or are you
So
being
read that question to me again.
one? I think it's when Lisa's talking,
Mm,
speaking about just hearing someone speak, and the
hmm
sound of their voice makes you want to just move away, or in your mind you're thinking, "Shut up." Could
Right.
it be your gut instinct about that person?
Well, I mean, that's right. You trust your instincts. Always trust your instincts because it's funny that that should come up tonight because I was writing for the next book. And the next book, as you know, is there's Roger Garza Senior is in. Well, Santa Claus is in the house. Um, he's got the white beard. He's got the belly. um,
He can't hear you, but he says hello.
tell him I said hi. Tell Santa I said hi. Um, with love, not
Yeah,
take Mickey taking.
I know.
It's funny. I was talking earlier on the show. Oh, I'm sorry. I was actually writing earlier for my next book, Walking with the Light, and I was writing a big piece about psychic vampires. Okay,
Yeah, he's feeling better, honey.
about psychic vampires. I'm
Fake
doing.
here.
Tell him to watch out because I'm back.
Watch out, he's back. We're so glad. We're so glad you're back. We've been thinking about you and praying for
That's
you.
well. The only reason I'm back is because all of you guys were so loving and so helpful, and sending me tons of energy and healing. So I'm back because of that. So thank all of you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your support.
Sorry for
Um,
interrupting your answer to
no,
Lisa.
no, no, no. This is what a chat show is all about.
Yeah.
Lisa, trust your instincts, my darling. Now, I was talking about a psychic vampire. A psychic vampire is an energy that you get from somebody else that you instantaneously feel, ooh, like that. Trust that instinct. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
are you repelling them for a reason? Feel what that reason is. Is it just because you don't like them? And honestly, realistically, then evaluate what is it about them you don't like. I mean, you don't have to sit there and go, "Tell me
You
about yourself." No, I don't like you.
yeah,
Sort
you
of.
yeah,
You
you
know,
don't have to analyze it, I don't think.
you gotta, but trust that instinct. If there's someone who's talking to you, and your whole persona is going no, then it's a really good indicator to say, You know when you walk into a house, okay,
Yep.
Faye, and everybody who's watching, you walk into a house, like you're going to view the house. You're going to a house that you're potentially going to live in, right?
Yeah.
And you walk into the house, and some houses you walk into and you go, "This is it.
Mhm.
This is it."
Mhm.
You know, the realtor might not even shown you around yet, but you just walk in the door and you go, "No, I feel it. I can feel this house." And others, you walk in the door and you go, "Oh no,
We did that when we were looking for houses. Roger would just when we before we bought the house we live in now,
yeah."
we looked all over the place, and Roger wouldn't go beyond the vestibule. I mean, he wouldn't go beyond the no. He would say, "No, I'm not looking at this house. I do not like this house." And I'm going, "What?"
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like a perfectly good house to me, but he said,
Yeah.
"No." He said, "I don't
Well, no,
like."
you feel
He
the
said,
energy. I
"No."
mean, bricks and mortar, they hold on to, especially granite. If you're in a granite built house,
Mhm.
the granite is a video recorder. It's a recorder for all of the information that's been happening in that region. Okay, it can be what's happened within the house, but it can also be what happened around the house.
Mhm.
Okay, let's say again, I'm going to focus on the United States. What's the name of that amazing place that I want to visit where the Civil War? It's a famous Civil
Gettysburg?
War. Yeah,
Gettysburg?
Gettysburg. A lot of the properties still hold on
Yeah.
to the spirit energies that are connected there, but it's not. They don't hold this. See, this is the misinformation that you hear from these TV shows. Oh, the spirits are trapped. No, they're not. Okay, spirits
Mhm.
can come and go. They are not connected, so they can move wherever they want. They're not trapped. Okay, they choose to stay, or they choose not to stay, or they choose to be connected to that particular building, or whatever the case, whatever that case may be. But they are not trapped. There is no trap. It's not Ghostbusters, Ghost.
Right.
You can't press a button and trap the ghost. It's not. So it's not really specifically on what these ghost teams or these ghost hunting crews are. Oh, this person's trapped. No, not. Okay, so um, but the energy that comes off of the building, the if you want to call it the building's essence, its ether, whatever you want to call it, the multiples of names that people give it, you'll instantaneously walk in there, your aura will connect with that energy, and you'll
Mm.
start feeling the house. You'll feel it as in, "Eh," or you'll feel it as wow.
Mhm.
It may be the ugliest house you've ever walked into, but you instantaneously feel home. Okay,
Mhm.
and it might be the other way around. It might be the most stunning house you've ever seen, and you think, "How is this available to me at this price?" And then you go, "Oh, that's why." Okay, and your energy just go poof like that, and you take off.
So
So,
Lisa's talk that segues into a question from Lisa again. She goes,
yeah,
"And by the way, you guys, thank you for these questions. These are all what we're all about is
yeah,
your questions, your thoughts. I mean, here he is talking about being a psychic medium and going off on what we ask. So here we go. Lisa says, "What about residual haunting? You talk, that can segue into that. I mean,
uh-huh.
you you have, yourself seen orbs in your house, right?
Well, yeah, I took those.
You posted
What was
that.
it? The night before last, wasn't it? Was
Yeah,
it? No, it was the night before last. Yeah,
I think so.
I came up the stairs. And I mean, first of all, foremost, Cornwall is steeped in history. It's
Sure.
it's where I live in Cornwall. It
Mhm.
is well, actually, Cornwall in the whole essence is absolutely bound with history. The amount of
Yep,
history here, oh my goodness, goes right back to when kings were being beheaded. So
yep.
there's immense, and then you had the wars that were the Roundheads were fighting the Crown, and blah blah blah. So it's steeped in history. But anyway, I came up the stairs in this house, and this house is huge. You know, it takes you 5 minutes to go from the bedroom to get down the stairs, another 5 minutes to get to the kitchen. It's
That's
it's
cool.
huge. So I came up the stairs and I went into the room, and as soon as I closed the door in the room, I just felt energy. I felt I was being watched.
Oh.
So I went, okay. And I don't have fear.
I
The
know.
fear,
Yeah.
I don't have fear. So I went, all right. So let's do something about this. Okay. You guys are here. You clearly want to get my attention. Okay. So let's do something about this. So I put my cell phone on the bedside table. It was thrown off. It went boom, onto the floor. I was like, oh, so you want me to use the bed? All right. So I took the cell phone. I walked to the far side of the bedroom and I set it up on video facing the bedroom.
Yeah.
And I said, right, okay, I got to go and use the bathroom, do whatever. All right. So I went off and I used the bathroom. I came back and I checked the footage and I was like, okay, you guys were active. Um, and basically what I did was in the pictures that you guys saw, I just basically segmented some of that film, some of that footage.
So
You
was that
know,
a camera you used or your phone? What was the
my new cell phone is amazing. It
yeah,
can see
good.
in the dark. It's incredibly amazing.
I have a
Those
question on
pictures
that.
you've seen that I've put
Okay.
up of the moon.
Yes.
They were taken on my cell phone.
They're beautiful. They're
They're
absolutely beautiful, and
amazing.
it looks like the moon is right there. And
Yeah,
I wanted
and
before
it's in
before we
that.
get started,
It's this cell phone here. It's just
what type is it?
Samsung.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's the latest Samsung.
Who
Um,
do you think
it's
that you as a psychic medium, I know you, I mean, do you feel that that's a residual, do you happen to know, or do you
I
think it's
at this
somebody that
moment in
shows up
time,
to you?
I think it's connected to the area.
All right.
Alrighty. So going back to the question, residual haunting.
Yeah.
Again, and that's a term that has been, just presented by people who want to be presenting information. A residual haunting. Um, why? Okay, okay. Let me just flip things around because I love teaching and I love people expanding their knowledge. Faye, at the time when you go home
Mhm.
and you come back to visit the house that you and Roger live in, are
Mhm.
you haunting it?
No, I don't think so.
I rest my case. Are you haunting it or are you visiting it?
I'm, I'm visiting it.
Right. So what's the difference between somebody who comes on a regular basis to visit the property they loved and
Right.
a haunting? Um, as the question she asked, uh,
Yeah.
what was residual haunting?
Residual haunting.
Um, so it's how you present the information. I would be coming back to visit the house that I grew up in, the house I loved with all my heart, but I'm not haunting it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Faye, you're a little bit, shall we say, you're not the person you are, which is loving, sweet, honest, and all being, and you wish everybody love. Imagine you're a bit sort of slightly the opposite. Okay.
Okay.
Little bit on the selfish side, maybe, a little bit sort of what's mine is mine.
Mhm.
Okay. And you go into your house, and all of a sudden there's people that you don't know living in it.
Mhm.
Are you haunting it, or are you just disagreeing with the people that are there?
Disagreeing. Just disagreeing while I'm
Do
visiting.
you see my point?
Yeah.
And then where these haunting teams, all of a
Yeah.
sudden you got a negative energy who is,
Right. Yeah.
it's blown out of proportion because that old concept, bad news sells. That's all it is. I say to people, first of all, just stop. Ooh, put the brakes on. Who are you dealing with? Do you know? And especially these idiots who call themselves clearing mediums. Clearing what? Who are you clearing? Have you
Mhm.
checked? Have you just
Right.
walked into somebody's house and threw them out of it? How do you
Mhm.
feel? You know, so
Mhm.
don't be a clearing medium. If there's an energy in that house that's not necessarily, shall we say, in balance with the people that are living there, it may be because they're not understanding why these people are
Right.
in their home.
Right.
Did you take the moment out to say, hey,
I
listen,
have
you had your time?
to be fair, I have seen some shows in the US
Hmm.
that have had, you know, investigators, paranormal investigators. One town that you would really love to go see, I
Yeah.
think, is a western town, and it's called Deadwood, and
I've
it's in
heard
the
of this. Yeah.
Black Hills of South Dakota, and
Right.
it has all the legendary characters of cowboy times called Wild Bill Hickok and
Yeah.
Calamity Jane. Those guys are buried there, and it's just a wonderful. I love that town. I had the privilege of
Right. So
living in
let's
South
look at
Dakota
two
as well.
things on that front. Number one, the Black Hills were
Hmm.
extreme, extremely important
Yes,
to the Native American people.
yes,
Okay, and
yes,
my understanding is it was a very, very, shall we say, in our terminology, a heavenly area.
yeah.
Okay,
Spiritual as well.
very, very spiritual.
Hmm.
So it's going to be absolutely inundated with that kind of energy, and that kind of energy flows. It goes like that. It flows. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to walk into the powerful wave. You're going to be walking into as it retracts and it flows like that. Okay.
Hmm.
And you even heard me saying, "Oh, say that again," or "Show me that again." Okay, because the energy
Yes,
comes in and it comes
yes,
back like that.
yes. Hmm.
In the Black Hills, and that's the very famous where the presidents are carved into the
Mhm,
stone.
mhm.
Yeah,
Mount,
Mount Rushton. Is it Mount Rushton?
yeah, yeah, Rushmore. Mount
Rushmore.
Rushmore.
Close.
Yes, thank you.
But you're going to get a lot of energy. Now, you could be staying in a property in that area, but is it residual energy? Is it I don't know about that.
Mhm,
Residual haunting? Or are you just literally tapping into that amazing energy that's in that area?
mhm,
So this, it's, as much as I'm turning around and going, answering a question, residual haunting, or are you tapping into the area energy? Because you have to be precise on both. There is one and there is another, and they're two separate entities. They're literally black and white to each other. The area is the history and the strength of the Native American people. I'm talking about Mount
mhm,
Rushmore.
mhm,
But say for example, a home. If I picked a house anywhere, not necessarily America, Ireland, for an example. Let's jump. Let's pick on the Irish for a minute. Irish steeped in history, as you know.
sure.
You can go into a house in Ireland. Now, the Irish are completely different. We think completely different than most people around the world. When someone passes away in Ireland, yes, of course, we mourn their loss, but we don't focus on the mourning. We focus on the celebration of the life.
Mhm,
Okay. So when you walk into a house there, you're tapping into that kind of energy. Okay, but there's also the opposite side to that. Whereas as Ireland went through its darkest times and the Great Famine, why a lot of the Irish moved to America in the first place, the
sure.
Great Famine. So they went through
Yep.
so much oppression and so much negativity and so much dark times that you're going to pick up on that energy as well.
Okay.
You see?
Sure. Yeah.
So, but you're picking up on historical energy,
Yep.
and then you're trying to, and what'll happen is you get people who are picking up on the historical energy and trying to make it fit into modern times, and it doesn't
Right.
work.
It can't work, and that's what I'm learning as I'm kind of
Mm.
doing research. I wanna pull some questions up on or some
Far
comments
away.
up. It's awesome to thank you for everyone for, contributing. Let me see if it works here. Loretta says, I've seen the original owner of her house when we moved in, and I said to her,
Cool.
we're not here to take your house. We'd like to live here. And she never bothered us again.
There you go.
There you are.
Communication. There you go. Take the time out. If you're in a house and you feel that this thing's happening, take the time out and just say, "Hey guys, thank you for letting us be in your house. It's a beautiful house. Thank you for letting us be here and celebrate this beautiful place that you've created." How many
Hmm.
people are going to go, "What? Get out of my house," or go, "Oh, thank you very much." You know, first of all, they say thank you very much for just acknowledging that they're there. They love that. And
Hmm.
second of all, if you compliment anybody, they're going to do their best to make sure you have the best time there. And that's what spirit thinks. Because a lot of people associate spirit with how we associate the world. And that's wrong. So we have our own ideals of what the world is, our own ideals of for example, politics. be
Mhm.
it politics of the world or politics in the family. That
Mhm.
um, and a lot of people say to me, "Oh yeah, but what about this?" And they're associating their thoughts of here and now with the spirit world, and they're not. They're completely different. But what is the same is how people communicate. When we, the amount of people that have multiples of thousands of energies that I've dealt with through my nearly 40 years of being a professional medium, honesty and politeness is the winner,
Sure.
with
I mean, to be
hands down.
polite now, on this experience, in this earth, and also polite to those who have moved on.
Yeah.
I don't
In
you know,
Loretta's
yeah.
case, for an example,
Mhm.
I would say to Loretta, I would say, you know, she's never bothered you again, but there's no reason why you can't still communicate with her. There's no reason why you can't say to her, "Hey, are you still around? Let us know you're around. We'd love to know you're here. You would love to know you're still enjoying your home."
Mhm.
And you'd be surprised at how much what you might call luck energy comes your way.
Oh, that's cool. Never thought of it that way. I have
Yep.
another comment here.
Sure.
Thank you, Loretta. Thank you for that. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Thank you.
Keep them
I
coming.
appreciate that question.
Yes. Teresa says, "Hi, Teresa. Good to see you on our show today. Thank you." She says, "Paul, I have been seeing for years at the house I grew up in Memphis, and I see a shadow of a man's head, and he looks like a chief because of the feathers on his head.
Sure.
I have no Native American family. He comes back, and many years later, he's from a side angle looking forward at something.
Right.
Some
Well, two possibilities on Teresa's experiences there. One possibility she probably hasn't considered, but we'll get to that in a second. Well, number one, the United States as an entity as a whole, well, before the British came, before the Dutch came, before the Germans and the Spanish and all the rest of the different nations around the world that
Mhm,
came to the United States, it was inhabited by Native American people. Okay,
mhm.
so the Native American people literally had the
Everywhere.
entire continent
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yes.
So the reason why you might, I would say to Teresa, listen, do a little bit of research on your area, have fun with it. Get in there, get into Google, research the area as into the history, and go right back to the 1200s, the 10, the 8, the 900s, and find out what happened in your area. It'll blow your mind. Okay, that's one side. But my guides and my whole energies are telling me you could well be stumbling across one of your guides.
That's cool. That's cool.
My whole
Yeah.
my whole ding is
Yeah.
going guide,
Oh,
guide,
I
guide.
I just had some chills there too, so I kind of I am learning how
Hmm?
to respect my own little chills. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I call it the Spidey sense.
It's the spidey sense.
Give it a fun name.
I
Nobody
like
does,
that.
I call it, oh, my Spidey sense is tingling. And give it a fun name. Just what we do doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to have negative connotations. It
No.
can be fun. Call it whatever you like. You can't, one of my friends used to say to me, what was it, how she felt? She felt like she was weeing herself when her guides came close. They went, "What, weeing yourself?" And she go, "Yeah, but you know what? What the hey? I know that feeling. I know when they're around me, and I know I'm not weeing myself." you know. But hey, cool. Well, whatever works for you. But in this case, I would say to Teresa, yes, very much consider the guide concept here.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. My sister comes up. I just have to bring it up. My sister
Yeah.
comes up a lot.
All
Do you
right.
think is she a guide to
No,
perhaps? Just
she won't be a guide. She'll be referred as, and first of all, that is a brilliant, brilliant question. Okay, because a lot of people come to me and go, "Oh, my little angel passed away. My daughter, my son passed away. They're my guides." Or my mom or my dad passed away. My aunt, my uncle, my brother, my sister, my husband, my wife. my grandparents. They're my guides. No, they're not. They can't have occupied the same place, two places at the same time. Okay, a guide is someone who comes in who has multiples of lifetimes of experience,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
hence the name guide.
Okay.
But your family members will have been here. You mean you
Right.
knew your sister physically, so she
Right.
can't have been here and there at the same time. However, that being said, she will be what's referred to as a helper. Okay, so she will get involved. Now she has a little bit more leeway than most guides, and definitely more leeway than angels, because she doesn't have to wait for your permission. She can just get involved,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so very often she and everybody else who's listening are family who are in spirit. And when I say our family, that includes friends. I always say friends are the family we get to choose. Okay, so when they get involved and then they come in close and they do things, it's for the betterment of you. Okay, guides are there to help, shall we say, grow your spiritual knowledge, grow your spiritual
I
self.
get it.
So
Okay.
they
Yeah.
guide you in ways that is to grow your spiritual knowledge. Okay, like you've heard me say many times, we're the ones that are at university. We're here at university
Yes.
learning. Then we
Mhm.
take all the information that we've learned in this lifetime when we go back.
Mhm.
You may have heard of a system called the Akashic Records.
Yes.
Okay,
I have now. I
that's where all that information is stored. So when we go back, it's kind of like all of the data that we've learned through the many previous lives is then emerged with what we've just learned.
Mhm.
You see, so it's a big sort of like you come away, you get the data, then you go back and you put it in the hard drive with all the rest of the data. And whilst you're on the other side, you're evolving constantly, and that's why they still call it the next life. So when we go to the other side, it's not like you don't get a cloud and a bunch of grapes and a harp. You got stuff to do. So
Yeah.
you still be evolving. You're still
Right.
creating that motion forward as a soul. Okay.
So we also as a soul, are we and we're coming back many times as you say.
Mm.
So are some souls after a while, do they become guides?
Yeah,
Are
they
they
have an option of becoming guides. Yeah, once you've kind of climbed the 7 levels and you get to that level where you're at the top end, you have the option of most people, from what I can understand. This is going through my own research, my own work.
right?
Most people who get the opportunity to become guides do become guides. You
Mhm.
know, um, but you don't have to be a guide. It's not like when you get up to the top level, all right, you've now reached total enlightenment. You are now going to become a guide. No, I'd rather have a grape and a cloud, please. You can have. Oh no, just pulled my headset out. You can have options of progressing in other ways. You know,
I just want to take a pause here, Paul, and say hello to people who have joined us just most
please,
recently. Herbie is here. Carol Amerio is here. Uh, if I don't catch you, I'm sorry. Kelly Durant is now here. Thank you for joining us. This is awesome. Catherine Sosi, she says, thank you, Paul.
welcome.
Loretta says, thank you, Paul. Um, and Sheila Shelton says, hi, Faye and guests. This is Paul Francis, Sheila.
Hi,
Psychic
Sheila.
Healing. And it's good to have you with us today. Thank you for joining me and Paul. And it was, I just wanted to catch up with everybody. I
I've
wanted to
just
catch up
managed
with.
now to get the live chat, so I can see. I
Oh,
can actually
good.
see some people. I can only see Lisa and Herbert at the minute, but
Yeah,
I'm
and there's
assuming.
Denise. Denise has just come in.
Okay.
It's awesome to see you guys coming in. I know you work during the day, so this is kind of a strange time of the day for people in the US because they're still working, and I feel honored that you joined us because I know that you're either watching us while you're working or you just got home, and that's
Mm.
awesome. And people from the UK and all over the world. Thank you for tapping in on different times of your it's wonderful to be able to tap in with Paul Francis medium. He's been a medium for nearly 40 years, has done a lot of work, and he's helped a lot of people grow in their own journey, and has helped people connect with people who have passed. And I mean, there's just a lot of information that I am just privileged to be able to bring to you. And I
Well, I'm
actually,
privileged to be here, and you know, it's that I thank you for inviting me. I can't believe you invited me straight back again. Last week went so quick.
well, I know, right? I mean, I am happy that you did come back, because I know you haven't been, we've missed you, because you've been ill, you've had some things happen.
Yeah,
Can I just kind of break the question to saying, I hate to use the word, but sometimes we have struggles, right? And
yeah,
you went through a bit of struggle, I think.
yeah, yeah,
You had your plans. You had your plans, you had your goals, you had everything kind of lined up.
yeah.
And I mean, it's obvious for me to talk to you about your struggles. I mean, everybody here who's watching have struggles. I've had struggles, but because I've got you on and you're my guest, I can ask you. You had those struggles. You were ill.
Mm,
You had a bout with a COVID. I can say that because we're not on a network. And you've had, Maya had an accident.
mm-hmm.
You have Johanna works with getting better as well. Um, you're getting into your house. You had the legal problems. How do you get through some of these struggles of earth? And how
Well,
do we?
firstly, what it does, I see. I'm a big believer that as my grandmother told me, she said to me, "Son, God never gives you a hill you can't climb." So I hear that every single time a challenge is dropped in front of me. And I also, you've read it in my books. I always say a problem is a situation with an answer. Okay, it's when we start getting over emotional with that particular problem, we just build it to a point that maybe it's unconsolable. So remove the emotion, deal with the problem, problem solved. But what we've gone through and since December through to now is just tells me that we're just normal people, with the
Mhm.
same issues as everybody else. I know I don't get any huge. Well, actually, I do. Weirdly enough, I just didn't pay attention to them. But we don't often get huge insights to what's coming, and be able to dodge bullets.
Right.
Sometimes those kicks in the butt are for really good reasons. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. Yes, you know that there was a whole line of things set up for me to get into 2024 with. There's a whole series of seminars in place. We were getting ready to really start to promote promote a book I haven't even finished yet. Let's look at it from that point of view. um, and then I was going to get people more into what we do, because I was going to start the first seminars were going to be literally for everybody who has wanted to know more about this whole world that the psychic mediums have a tap into. But what I've been trying to tell people for multiples of years is you have that ability too.
Mhm.
You can come and join these seminars. They're going to happen, by the way. You can come and join these seminars and maybe get a better understanding when you're watching these shows. Because when you're watching the shows and you think, I get it now, because now you've been through that
Right.
seminar with me.
Right.
You have um, you have more data, and what it tends to do, it kind of whets the appetite. I want to learn more, and then
Right.
that whole knowledge, it starts to eat away at the fear factor. Okay,
Mhm.
because you're starting to collect information that feels totally right.
Right.
Okay, I remember going. I remember the first time I was sent to my teacher.
Mhm.
I went in there with absolute trepidation. I went in there go with, first of all, I was extremely extremely cynical. I was like,
Mm.
this is total crap, you know. Um,
As a psychic medium, your
yeah,
mediumship.
yeah.
Okay.
But and back in my head, there was my guide, and it was Shan. She was saying, and she was going, "If this is total crap, why do you do everything I tell you? You know,
Mm,
why do you? When I say don't trust that, you don't trust that. When I say to you turn right, you turn right. But this is total crap. Get in there." You know, so I went, and within half an hour of sitting down and going through the initial just chatting with people, just talking about people, and then realizing it wasn't the disbelief in what I was getting involved in, it was my own fear that I was
right.
actually starting to battle.
Sure.
Because I grew up a very, very staunch Catholic, a very, you
Sure.
know, if
Yep.
you do this, you will burn.
Right. Yep. I
Nah.
gotta I
Okay.
gotta put up
So,
something,
yeah,
and don't lose that thought. But I just wanna. I There you go. Oh,
I can't
okay.
read that. So,
I will read it, and I'm only interrupting you, dear, because
yeah.
I want
Oh,
people
please.
to feel like they're getting their answers
I can
through the
see what I
questions.
can see with my eyes is Julie Sharp. That's all I can see.
It's
I
really
can't see
sharp,
the rest.
and she says, "Paul, any insight? I keep seeing childlike twins in bright silver cloaks. Can't see faces. I don't know why I'm seeing them frequently."
Right? Well, first and foremost, why are you seeing bright silver cloaks? That would be my first question. Okay. Secondly of all, it's very, very common to see two, three, four children, twins, you know, kids. My first impression would be, why is it silver cloaks? That would be my real. If I was sitting down with Julie in Julie's home, I'd be going, right, let's find out. I would really want to find out why silver cloaks. Now, not this may not be the case, Julie. Please don't go, oh my God, Paul said this. I'm just speculating, okay? But with every what's the right words here? Because I've got to take responsibility for the information I give. Okay, with every experienced energy or interaction that I have read about, seen, or been connected to, or done research on, that has silver clothing. I keep knocking my phones. See, I've decided not to use the wireless ones because they kept
Uh-huh.
going out on me. So,
Mhm.
um, with silver clothing, it's all turned out to be aliens.
Oh,
Yeah.
huh.
So, um, every single time there has been alien activity, the people respond by saying, "I've seen them dressed in like a silvery green," or there's
Oh.
a connotation to lean towards that. That, like I
Mhm.
said, like I preempted the information. This I'm just speculating. This is not what I'm saying it is. But on my first, if I was in Julie's house, I'd be going, right. Let's find out what this is. I would really, really do that. What I
Mhm.
would say to Julie is, please, if you would know by now if these energies weren't benevolent, if they were feeling negative, they were feeling like oppressive, that kind of, you'd know, because you'd be saying to me, I'm really not enjoying this. Okay.
Mm.
So my advice would be to start the communication process. All right. Ask them why they're there. Tell them to give you signs of why they're there and say, hey, listen, I'm going to do some recording. I would really love for you to show yourself so that I have something to reference. Okay. So set up your mobile phone, cell phone in America, put it on video record, put on the camera light so that you get a decent amount of light exposure, and just let it record and just say, hey guys, listen here. This is a device to help me see you. Show yourselves. I'd love to see you. And talk to them like I talk to you, Faye. There's no
Mhm.
reason to be talking to them in any other format.
Mhm.
Why are you seeing them frequently? It's because they want you to see them. That's the only other answer I can give you. Because if they didn't want you to see them, you wouldn't see them so frequently. It is that. It really, really is that simple. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to be condescending because I'm definitely not that. But my first reaction, my intrigue in looking at this case is I want to find out why they're being dressed in silver. That'd be my first response. I mean, isn't it funny? Um, those photographs I put up the other night. How many people seen different things in the orb? I look
Yeah.
at I don't say to people, "Oh, no, you're talking at you," but I look at that and see what people are seeing
Mhm.
already.
Mhm.
Part of me says, "Oh, yeah, I can understand that. I can, especially the dogs. You know,
Yeah.
especially the dogs, because my little dog Brewster, and oddly enough, I was only talking about my first dog that passed away only in the last sort of few days. I was talking about it, Ruffles, and we were talking about him, and then some people were saying, "I see a dog in that."
Yeah.
They-
I saw
And
those.
dogs' orbs or animals' orbs tend to be lower down,
Right?
and so
Okay.
you'll get them around the floor level. And but that orb was huge.
Really, at first I couldn't understand it. I said, "What?" Because I'm new to the orbs thing, and
Yeah,
I thought, "Wow, there's that shadow, white shadow. What is that?" And then somebody else
yeah.
said it looked like a dog shape, and that said, "Yes, that does, and that
And
makes
did you
sense."
see the orb up on the ceiling? It was pink.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Explain that if you can, or can you?
I
What's your
mean,
take on that?
orbs can come in different colors. Some people say, and I don't disagree with them, by the way. I go, okay, that's interesting. When you see different colored orbs, but they very often refer to pink and blue orbs as being angelic.
Mm,
You know,
okay,
so
sure. So Kathleen Sosi says aliens. I've been abducted before.
oh wow, cool.
Wow.
I
I'd
would
like to
not
know more.
disagree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
listen, there's way too much evidence now.
Right.
I mean, the government,
Hmm.
plural, multi plural,
Yep.
are just making themselves look like idiots now
Hmm.
because there's way too much evidence to prove that extraterrestrial beings are not only here but have been
Right.
visiting here for
For a
thousands of
long,
years.
long, yeah.
So the
Yeah.
governments are now
Mm.
who are trying to make it, still come up with the it's swamp gas reflecting of moonlight. You know, you're just making yourselves look stupid now because the reason why people say, "Oh, why are our spacecrafts and beings all now being photographed?" Because we have digital information, digital machines
Hmm.
that
There,
can take,
like that,
we can fill
and we have them with us all the
with us
time.
all the time. And I mean, if
So,
especially with the phone that I have, I
hmm,
mean, I can literally see the surface of the moon. You
I
know,
know, I
it's
know that's
amazing.
beautiful.
So that's where you're getting um, pictures of craft in the sky, and
Right.
it's now being so de-escalated that professional pilots, and that fly airliners and blah blah blah,
Right.
they're now no longer afraid to come forward and go, "I saw that
Right.
thing."
Right.
And but before, as they were worried about their jobs,
Yes.
now
Yes.
they're less worried. When you've
Right.
got fighter pilots in the forces going, "Oh yeah, we chased them," you know.
Hmm.
Um, it's time the governments just went, right. Okay, let's figure this out. The world is clearly ready for this. So let's get
Well,
on to
and
it.
why wouldn't it be so? Because I mean, are we the only thing on in this universe? No, we're not. We're just
Gosh,
one
no.
one uh one planet in one solar system. There are, I don't know, thousands of, I don't know how many solar systems, and
Hmm.
there's got to be beings in those solar systems, and so, and some are more progressed than we are. Earth is probably new to them, so we could go on and on about that subject as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just tapping into that kind of information myself.
It's
And thank
it's
you, Kathleen Sosi, for talking
Yeah,
about that.
thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you for bringing that
I
up.
would not say to her, no, you didn't get. I would definitely say, yeah, well, hey, you know what? Look into it, research it. If you can't remember anything about it, go and get hypnotic regression. Give it a shot. What have you got to lose? Nothing.
Yes, I saw somebody on a show the other night about hypnosis. What is it called?
Yeah,
Hypnosis regression.
hypnotic regression.
Okay, hypnotic regression, where you can tap into your experience. And
Mm.
so anyway, yeah, thank you. I don't even know what you were talking about before that I interrupted you, but this is causing a lot of people a lot of questions, and I really love that. It's
I
it's
just want to
very
answer one of Lisa's questions, and she's great with the
okay.
questions, actually.
All right.
I was told with reincarnation, when you come back as a human, since we're human, not a dog or cat. Also, humans don't become angels. Well, everything you said there's correct, Lisa. That's fact. We, unfortunately, ladies of the world, no, you can't come back as a cat and have your tummy stroked, or you can't come back as a pony. No. Animals come back as animals, humans come back as humans, and humans have never been angels. Angels have never been human.
Mhm. Okay.
So,
Yeah, good. Good to know. Um, there's a lot of people who have different takes on that as well, but
hmm?
you know,
Well, it's fact. Here's what I said to you before. Remember, I said your sister can jump in and help you whenever she feels like it.
yeah, yeah,
I said, whereas angels can't. They
right, right,
want
right.
to. They want to. Don't get me wrong. They are itching to help you, but you must request
You
their
have
help.
to ask that. That you
Yeah.
have to, and you do have to tap into that. And I have been tapping into that realm a lot. And I have to tell you, it is so very comforting to know that I've had a guy, and also to know that we've had guardian angels ever since we were born.
Yeah.
And that even though we didn't ask them to help, sometimes they do anyway, to
hmm
make it not. Do you agree with that? I mean, I do. I
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah. Definitely.
I even when I
Definitely.
wasn't when I was like ignorant to the fact that I could ask for help, they
Hmm.
were helping me anyway through some
Yeah.
very dire circumstances. I know for sure that
Well, it's kind of like I remember reading. You'll find information everywhere if you just watch and be open to it. You'll find it. For an example, I came across a beautiful line in a movie quite recently, and it's a recent film, and it stars oh, I forgot his. I've just gone blank on his name now. The guy who was James Bond recently.
okay.
Um,
I don't know the name of
I've
the
forgotten
actor.
his name.
I'm
Anyway,
really bad at that.
he's in it, and it's called Cowboys and Aliens.
Okay.
So, and I mean that initially because that's me. I went, oh well, I'll watch this. So I watched the movie with Cowboys and Aliens, and it is a brilliant film. And there was a line in the film where one of the chaps is dying, and he's kind of saying to him, "Don't waste your life." He says the words were, "God doesn't care who you were, son, only who you're going to be." And I
Hmm.
thought, wow, that is amazing. He doesn't care who you were, he cares who you're going to be. So
That's
basically,
cool.
that is your way of like going, right, okay, maybe I didn't do so well in my history, but you know what? I've got an opportunity to do well now.
Right.
What a
That is
fantastic line. And you will find these gems of information if you just are open to it.
open your eyes, actually.
And
Open your
open your
head.
eyes and just be aware.
There.
Um, I don't. I'm not qualified to tell anybody they're wrong, so I never do it. If people come to me like, I've been abducted, I'm not qualified to tell you that you're not. Who the heck am I to tell you you're not? I'm not.
Right.
If you've been abducted, I will believe you. Well, who am I to say you weren't?
I know.
I would say to you, "Wow, okay, that's amazing. Um, can you remember any of it? Do you want to
Right.
remember any of it? How
Right.
do you feel about it?" So I
Right.
would then start to talk to that person and say, "Hey, what did you get from it? What is is there anything there that motivated you? Is there anything that demotivated you? Let's eliminate that, and let's look with the positive aspects of where you can take that information, that experience, and move forward with it. Now, the very fact that you were abducted tells me, hey, number one, we're not the only people in the universe. Hey,
Yep.
that's what I look at it. I don't go to the person and go, okay, lay off the whiskey. I
Mhm.
go, wow, did you really? Tell me more. You know.
when we get that kind of response from different people, about, any subject, well, your husband's a psychic medium, and then you get the people who roll their eyes at first. But what it is that I think it's their own fear, or
Yeah, the
there
fear
a lack
factor.
of or a lack of information. So I mean, really, just when you're talking, I guess the reason I'm even saying this is that, like, many scientists before would not, acknowledge the fact that where there are aliens or whatever. It's only because they haven't caught up yet, I don't think, or maybe.
Well, there's a lot
Am
of
I
people who just don't want to believe. You know,
right?
I mean, that we're coming back to that fear factor, and I don't
Hmm.
want to. I'm not here to rock people's religious beliefs. That's no way. I
Right,
believe if your religion brings you comfort, it's right.
right,
Okay.
right.
But when you have, and I really, I want to say stuff that I don't want to insult people, but when you have what I refer to as Bible bashers,
Hmm.
and these people who believe that the Earth is only 2,000 years old, and
Right.
all of that, and the real, there can only be one. Really, it's only one God. Oh yes, and we can only get to Him through Jesus Christ. Well, I can tell you this now, that the Christian religion is not the biggest religion in the world. Just want to break it to you gently, and
Right.
you want to do some research on religions of the world, and if you can only get to God through Jesus
Through
Christ,
Jesus
which
Christ.
I'm a big believer in Jesus Christ. I think he's a rock star. I read a
Absolutely.
lot about his history.
Yes.
Um, but what about the other five major
Exactly.
religions of the world? Where do they go
Absolutely.
then?
Yeah. How can
So
they can't all be wrong. They
no, they
can't
kind
be.
of. I mean, you look at. I love reading and listening to the Native American teachings. I
Absolutely.
sit there and I listen and I go, that is right.
Mhm.
There's nothing there that they do that's incorrect, because they're not out to try and convince people. That's what I love about it.
Mhm. I know. I've just picked up a book, about a journalist who, in 19 well, this is a really old book that Roger brought with him, and it is about a journalist in 1930 who interviewed and then wrote the story of black elk, and he is an Oglala Sioux who lived
Right?
on the Rosebud Reservation in South Dakota, and he was able to talk about Crazy Horse because he's related to Crazy Horse, who was a chief in the West, and they went through the Battle of Wounded Knee, and he's talking also about he, he was a medicine man,
Hmm.
and he had uh, psychic trips, astral trips, while uh, being part of the Battle of Wounded Knee. And
Wow.
yeah, it is an epic book. I mean, I'm reading this, and it is the guy who wrote the book. His daughter was a stenographer.
Hmm.
So she's writing in shorthand the interview of this medicine man, and there are other elders in the location with him. So what he wasn't able to tell him, the elders were able to bring in the actual, yes, this is what happened, and they would bring in the clarity of the event. It's an amazing book. It
Oh,
was
you
in
got to
my
share that title with me. I want to read that.
Okay, okay, I will. I'll get that to you. I mean, it was in our own little bookcase, and I thought, "Oh, I think I'll read that book." Wow. I'm saying,
There's
"Wow."
another author. Oh, sorry, another. That's going to shift on my chair here.
Yes, it
There's
is an
another
old book, Kathleen. Yes.
character that's very very big in the spiritual world, which is silver birch.
A
And
silver
you got black
birch?
birch, but silver birch is also a massive spiritual connection for a lot of people. Read silver birch here, but I want to
Okay.
read that. I want to read that.
Yeah, I don't know why I picked it up. I just feel like it is a something that I am supposed to read, and I am grateful that I saw it, and it
Oh,
is beautifully written, by the
sorry
way.
to interrupt you, but
No,
I just
no.
had it could be Sean talking to me.
Okay.
Um, Now, whilst we're talking on the medium of guides. A lot of Native American, a lot of people have Native American guides. I
Yes.
I do. I have one, but he's not my main guide. He's my protector. He's here to protect me. It's his job. His
Okay.
job. He told me his name's Blackfoot, and he told me my job is to protect you. That's it. I'm not here to bring you any wonderful insights. I'm just to protect you. I'm your bouncer. I'm like, and he stands there and
I
he
love it.
grunts at me. He goes, "Ugh," and he does. That's how he communicates with me. He literally goes, "Ugh,"
And
like
he know
that.
and when he's doing that, you need to back away
Well, no,
or you're
I just, no, I'm very me. I'm just me with you. I'm with them at the same time. I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know.
okay.
And he just "Ugh," like that. And there was one day though, I was doing some work, and I was working with this lovely lady in the United States, and she was Native American, and I was doing a lot of work, and he spoke. Blackfoot spoke, and he went, "Tell her this," and I was
Wow,
thinking, did he just? Did you just tell her that? Tell her this? Tell her that?
that's cool.
And I was like, "Oh my God, all I could, you're speaking to me. Just tell her." All right. Oh, so told her. Anyway, so whatever I told her was so immense that they actually gave me a Native American name, okay, which it means he who walks in both worlds. The Raven they called me, and they sent me this. Oh my God, amazing eagle feather with a
Wow.
raven hand painted on it. So they gave me this name, the Raven, because of what Blackfoot told me. I mean, people say to me, "Oh, you're amazing." I go, "No, it's
You
them.
got
I
that
just
from your
I just
guide.
delivered the data." Um, but what Sean was trying to say to me is, people need to understand. A lot of people get a little bit sidetracked, and they go, "Oh, I've got a Native American guide, so therefore I'm not psychic or I'm not a medium." Not true. Not true at all. You can. One of my dear friends, one of my absolute dear friends, who is an amazing medium. I mean, I used to like go when she would be talking, and one of her guides was an alien. She
Wow.
would, and I did not disbelieve her in any way, shape, or form. She gave me the name of this energy coming from another world, and I'm going like, "Yeah, hey, right? If you tell me that, I totally believe you." But you can have master. I mean, Shan's my master guide, and she's not a Native American. In fact, she's Celtic. She
Okay.
dresses in. She's blonde
She too.
hair.
Oh, blonde hair.
She's long white flowing robes, and she's got a Celtic attitude as well. Get on with it. You know,
Mhm.
she's like the amount of time she's giving me a smack on the back of the neck when I'm starting to doubt myself. Um, like so, for an example, out of all of the team that I have, only one is a Native American, and he's there to protect me. So I've got Sean, who's Celtic. Then I've got Frank. I explained who Frank was, who's St. Francis of Assisi. Okay.
Oh, right. Right,
I've
right,
got
right.
Chen, who is he's here. He comes in close when I'm doing philosophy, when I'm working with philosophy. So
Mhm.
I got Sean, Frank, Chen, Blackfoot, Margaret. Now Margaret, her job is really about my staying focused, staying online, staying. She's more like a school teacher. She's like, do this when I tell you to do it, and she's like, and then I've got Philip, and he is the best way to describe Philip is he's a geography teacher. He's like so
Wow.
gentle and so easygoing, and he's like, and you can see when he's close to me because I'm like, yeah, I'm like almost hippie-ish, and he's like, okay, you gotta think about these people's perspective. You gotta think about how they approach you, how they see you. And I'm like, Philip, get on with it! So my mom said to me, son, you were born without a patient bone. And then I've got Guy. Guy is, do you guys know what a cockney is? A
I'm not
cockney?
sure. No.
Well, a cockney is an amazingly warm, loving person who's born in the center of London. Um, it's
Okay.
only they call them Cockneys if they're born within the sound of Bow bells. The bells like the chime, and they're wait, and they're like that, and they're like like
Okay.
that, and you can see when he's close to me because I'm like like this.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so my guides come close to me, they work with me, and then they'll often shine through my persona into. But you can see when Philip's around me because I'm like,
That's
yeah,
so
like this.
interesting that there are so they have these traits. These guides have
Hmm?
these traits, and they go with what uh, who they
Oh,
are.
I love them.
That's wonderful.
My there's no
That's
word to
beautiful.
describe my love for these guys. For I call them a team.
Did
I'm
they
one of
come
the
all of a
team.
sudden to you? Did you
Oh
find them
no no.
just through a lot of
And I haven't even talked about my gatekeeper. My gatekeeper's a little old lady in her
okay.
late 70s.
Oh. Mm,
She only comes in and out again, goes hi, and then goes again. And her job is to keep the gate open and closed between the two worlds. That's her job.
uh-huh. Oh,
That's
I
it.
see. That's awesome.
Um, I love there's no words to describe my feeling for these guys, and I don't say they're my team. I'm part of the team.
Do you think there will be more guides that you'll start to meet? I mean,
They
do you
no, I will have guides come in and out. Yeah, there'll still
know?
be guides, but the team will stay with me
I see.
because they have a job to do.
Okay.
And when I'm dealing with different subjects or different people or different types of people, the different guide will come in to work with me.
Do you
They
feel
work with
that
other people
do you
as well. They're not just
yeah,
solely
oh,
mine.
I
They
see.
work with other people. I mean,
Right.
St.
So do
Francis
you
of
feel
Assisi. My gosh, come on.
oh, yeah. And so do you feel like there are guardian angels that stay
Oh
with you?
well, I deal with a team of guardian angels as well. Let me give you my. Should I?
Please do.
Oh, do you know what the heck? You know, it's not. You know, I'm gonna give you an insight into how I work.
That's why you're
Okay,
here.
so I start off when I'm getting ready to work. The very first people I start with is my mom and dad. They're the first.
Okay.
I start with them. Okay, because without them, I
Mhm.
wouldn't be here.
Right?
So I start with them when I say, "Hey, mom, dad, you know, if you're not too busy, can you come close and help me tonight? I'd really, really appreciate you guys helping me." You
Mhm.
know, and then I pull in my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents, and I go and my friends who have passed. Guys, I could really do with your help. You know, can you come and help me out tonight so we can bring some information through for some beautiful people?
Okay.
Then I will work with Sean, and I will get my energies linked in with Sean, and we'll balance everything out, and then I'll go right round each one of the guides. Then I step up a level again, and it's kind of like it's going boom, 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 boom like that. So I'll then call in um, the Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Jophael, and Barakel. So those are the
Okay.
five that surround me.
Okay.
Those so I work with them, and then outside of that, I then start working with angels for communication, angels for protection, and then other angels that I might need for specifics that I'd be doing on that particular night.
That's so cool.
So
I have to bring go ahead. Go ahead.
and I go through that ritual every time, every time I work.
I'm going to bring up a question. I feel like it's a very thank you, Shauna, for asking the question. Whoa!
Shauna McGrath,
So I just
Shauna,
knocked out Paul Francis, but he's coming back.
I'm
Yay!
here. I'm here.
Um, hold on,
I can
folks.
just see Shauna. I can see the
So
name Shauna.
Sean is saying, can a gift, being spiritually gifted, be passed down from generations? A lot of mediums have told me I'm gifted, passed down through my ancestors and generations. Always felt different and can sense and see things growing up. My grandma was like this.
Right. Yeah, there's a yes and a no to that question answer. There's a yes and a no. Okay. Yes, because your your whole family is open to the process. So if there's a history in the family, it means your family's open to the process. So oh yeah, your great grandmother did that, your grandmother did it, your mom did it, or you know the dad side. I just, you know, in this case, assuming the females. But so your great grandmother was a seer, or she used to do the tea leaves, or whatever the case may be, and then your grandmother, your mother, yourself. So your whole family history is open to this, what I refer to as the process. Okay, so there's less of a, oh my God, I'm hiding behind something I don't know about, and I don't want anybody else to know. There's less of that. So yes, it can be passed down, but it's the knowledge that the ability is that's being passed down, not the gift. Does that make sense?
Mhm. So,
So
Paul,
the
okay.
knowledge that you are in, and an ability to be able to have the gift, it's not the gift that's being passed down.
It's
Okay,
the
because I've told you guys over and over and over and over and over again, everybody's psychic. Everybody. Okay, every
mhm,
human on this planet is born with psychic ability, bar none. Okay, so the ability to see you know what Shauna might find as well if she does some research into her family. Say for an example, and I'm not saying this is the case, but this could be the case. Okay, there's a strong E connection around Shauna, like Elizabeth, Elaine, Eileen, that kind of a name is being mentioned at the moment, and they tell me to talk about March, or the third of a month is significant with Shauna as well. Okay, the time we talk about the number three connected to the calendar, so the month of March or the third of a month is significant. And Shauna, I would definitely be on to looking about a move that's around you at this moment in time. I'm being shown my for sale sign, which means significant change. But of all of my symbols, that's the one you want to hear. All right, because it brings with it a powerful positive energy. Okay, but there's a shift around you that's going to bring a lot of positive energy with it. Oh, and be a little bit on the ball with a car. There's something about a car they're telling me to talk about. Either it's a new car coming, just get it checked, just be a little bit more conscientious about what it is towards a car that's coming into your future and the coming being. Now let's go back to the question. All that came just see they will take an opportunity to come through. Let's go straight through. And as I was talking about, I kept seeing tea leaves. That's why I brought tea leaves up initially. So they used to call people in the read tea leaves. They used to call them seers. Okay,
yep.
because they would see into the cup and they'd see blah blah blah. The tea leaves is just a tool. Okay, so they were using the psychic ability. They were connecting to the energy, connecting to the person that's in front of them. They were seeing what they're seeing through their energy, and then that's why they call them seers. So, but say for example, Shauna's great grandmother was a tea leaf reader. Her grandmother was a healer. Two different things, two different disciplines. Shauna herself may well be a psychic, but not a medium. But Shauna's daughter might be medium, but she will be psychic because that's the case. So the but what I'm what to answer that question in a yes, it's because you're open to the process, but no, not necessarily so because you may not want to take on the process. There's people who don't want it. Okay,
Mhm.
so it's not the passing down of the gift itself. It's the passing down of the knowledge that it's there to be able to be used, if that makes sense.
That's cool. There's a few questions that are popping up now, as you can
I'd
imagine.
love to know if what that data that I give to Sean is actually.
Okay, Shauna, would you kind of, if you could respond to what he just gave you, that would be awesome. And then, can I present you with another question
Please,
here?
absolutely far away.
Oh, alrighty.
I've been looking
Okay.
forward to tonight because I'm feeling so much healthier. I'm
It's
happier.
awesome. Tina says, she says, Paul, I have a very important surgery coming up,
Uh-huh.
reversal surgery, so I can finally get this ostomy bag
Yeah.
gone. Oh, will my angels be there to help my surgeon have healing hands to fix me?
Okay. First and foremost, you will not get a surgeon who can't do the job. Let's be real. Feet on the ground. Okay. Weirdly again, I love my work. Oh my God, I love my work. this very day, I was talking about. I was writing a passage for the next book that's coming out called uh, Psychic Vampires. Okay,
Oh,
and another part of that particular counteractive or the counter fight against that is called grounding. Okay, so I was talking about that, and then this comes up in your show. So, in relation to my darling Tina, first and foremost, don't worry. Okay, eliminate worry. Okay, now I'm an idiot. Okay, how can you possibly tell someone who's about to have surgery not to worry?
hmm,
Because I'm an idiot. All right, but trust me, you are going to come out of this fine. That much I know. Okay, but
that's
secondly of
awesome.
all, you got to understand they will never put a surgeon in front of you that doesn't know the job, that won't be able to do what they're going to do, because most surgeons, even though they can be slightly egotistical, will never they won't want to let themselves down, especially their patients. Okay, so you're going to come out of that no problem at all. Is your angels going to be around you? Yes, because you've just asked them to be. You've just done it. You didn't say the words, "Hey angels, I really need you to get my back on this. Please be here," because they're going to go boom straight there. There's going to be no question. Boom, they're going to come straight there. But because you kind of done it in a way that they're going, okay, that's clearly her asking for us to be there. We're going to be there, because your angels can't wait to help you. They When you're saying to them, "I really need you to help me," it's kind of like our Christmas morning. Alrighty, so they love it. So please, 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 not only Tina, all y'all, talk to them and ask them to help you because they love it. They
Yes,
love helping you, and you can have any kind of angel. You can have
right.
angels like I have, parking angels. I call them.
Yeah,
And my kids have tested them, and I've proved them wrong. So
we've called upon them as well.
yeah.
Shauna is getting. Thank you, Tina, for asking that question.
Beautiful
And
question. Tina, listen, you're going to be fine, my darling. Trust me. What I will say to you this is, and I am not a doctor, I am not a medically trained physician. I have no clue about this, but I'm seeing something to do with blood pressure. Just be but then again, you're anxious. So your blood pressure is going to be all over the place anyway. But just be aware that's something to do with blood pressure, blood sugars, because I'm seeing a symbol that relates to that. Okay.
that's awesome. Shauna is getting back to you on what you have.
Oh, cool.
Oops, oops. I click something and something else comes up. Tina
Do you
says
know what?
no.
I need to
Thank
put away my vanity. What I need to do is start putting on my glasses so I can read.
Okay. I got big orange ones here. Do you want mine? Um, Here's Shauna says, "Yes, I get you. The ability. I hear Granny McCrossan read the tea leaves. My great grandmother was Elizabeth. I'm very psychic and intuitive. My friend Elaine died in her early 30s in spirit. I can't drive and never had. Thanks, Paul. Yes, well, March is my favorite month because I used to play music in St. Patty's Day, and my daddy in spirit encouraged me to do this.
There you
Um,
go.
and he used to say I was conceived in March, and
Right.
a few years after mom and dad got married. I wish I had the money to. It's my house. Oh, so I think she's ran out of. Let's see. Is my host? I can't. I'm having technical
I
problems.
can just about read what you're saying there, and
Okay.
maybe she's got only so many characters she can use in the message, but you've made me feel so good tonight, Shauna, with that because you got your grandmother who's clearly showing herself to me because you kept showing me the tea leaves. You're talking about your grandmother Elizabeth and Elaine is around you,
A friend
and
Elaine.
then your dad's showing you he's around
Right.
you because he's talking about the third month as
Right.
being significant.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yes, and you know what? Embrace that amazing energy. Embrace those amazing people that you've got that have shown up tonight. Embrace that and let them carry you on to learning more about you. You've heard me talk about development, right? And these seminars that are coming up are for development. but you always hear me refer to them as personal development, because as you develop spiritually, you develop personally, and as you develop personally, you develop spiritually. They work hand in hand.
So, Paul, it's almost time for us to say goodbye. I can hardly believe that. Tell
I
you the truth.
know, I know. I'm kind of, part of me's slightly glad you said that, because I'm running out of energy here,
Okay.
as
All
in
right.
power in my phone, not on the, not
Oh,
on
okay.
the personal
And
energy.
so, if anybody wants to, I mean, you've got some wonderful things coming up, and
Yes.
I'm trying to put up on this thing your how people can contact you. Um,
Well, people can
and
contact me through. I'd like to, as many people as possible, come and join me on my YouTube channel, which is Paul Francis Medium, or you just type into the little search bar at the beginning, Paul Francis Medium. I will be live on Thursday night, this coming Thursday night.
awesome.
Okay, at roughly 7:30, 8 p.m. But you'll see this, it all come up on the screens and so on and so forth. And
Okay.
I'm going to come back in a little bit gradually. I mean, tonight, ladies and gentlemen of the world, with the greatest thanks and help from my dear, 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 darling sister Faye,
Mhm.
um, I've managed to come back. But tonight was a tester to see if I'm ready to come back, with in relation to my health, not to do with my brain or my heart or my energies
Mhm.
from the other side. And oh God, am I ready? Oh, am I? I'm bursting to get back to work. So where I'm gonna come back with a vengeance. So come and join me Thursday night,
Okay.
and I'll do something similar to what we've been doing tonight. I'll answer your questions, and as reads come in, I will present the
What
readings.
time are you coming in on Thursday night?
I'm thinking I'm going to be coming in roughly around about 8 p.m.
Your
UK
time.
time.
Okay, so that would be about 2 o'clock Central Time, 3 o'clock Eastern Time.
There you
In
go.
the US. So we will watch for your Facebook. I suppose you will be notifying us on Facebook.
Yeah,
Are you using that? And so also folks, if you will put on your calendar tomorrow night, we do have our show, which is Latino Psychic Visions, which we show it's the show starts at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, and we always love to have everyone join us on that show. And it's crazy. Anytime you want to, Paul, show up on our show, I'll send you a link, and you can even double
absolutely.
come on with us. We have been waiting for you to feel better, and we love what you do, and we love what you share. So
Yeah,
thank you all for joining us tonight. I love you all. Paul, I know it's getting late for you, but thank you for being on my show with me again and
please
helping.
don't thank me. It's my privilege. It's a privilege for me to be here. It's a privilege to be asked. I don't take it lightly. I don't actually accept a lot of
Don't
invitations.
you?
I just want you
You're
to
in
know
some
that.
well,
I only accept invitations to the chosen few.
okay.
I do get invites to other people's show, but
I'm sure you do.
I'm not motivated. So,
Well,
um,
I can't wait for when your seminars show up. I am
yes,
also anxious.
I can't wait to get those going.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do seminars, but I'm also trying to do filmed recordings, so that during the seminars, while I'm while I'm saying, for example, I'm going to take you guys on a meditation. I'll bring in the filmed recording, and you guys will be
Oh,
part of the
cool.
film recording. Now, the reason why I'm going to do that
Mhm.
is people might come out of the meditation and go, "Oh my God, that was amazing! I want to do that again." Okay, but because you've been part of that seminar, I can send you
The
the
link.
actual film recording, so you can do
Good.
it over and over and over.
Sure. Cool. Well, people check that out. I mean, put that down, www.paulfrancis111.com,
.com.
uh, uh, to register or to be aware.
Well, the
Join
best thing
him.
to do is get your
Okay.
butts over to my YouTube channel.
Oh,
Please,
okay.
please, please get on there, get registered by subscribing and hitting the little bell icon. Because at this moment in time, we've only just moved into this house, so none of my computer systems are up.
Right.
and I'm not able to up. I haven't updated my website for quite some time because I literally
Oh,
don't have any computers.
gotcha.
So please, please, please get yourselves over to my subscribe to my YouTube channel, and
YouTube
then I will
channel.
be updating everybody via that initially.
That's okay. Good advice. Thank you very much for the for helping me out there because I am referring other people to you as well. I know my own daughter is Tanya is very interested in what you have to share with us and myself. I can't wait. So,
There's one of the meditations which is about 3 or 4 seminars in. Trying to
okay.
think about I don't know, it's 3 or 4 seminars in where I take you to a very very special place.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine this in your mind's eye. I know we got to go, so I'll make this quick. Imagine I take you to a very special place. There are two beautiful armchairs in front of a roaring log fire. You go and
Mm-hmm.
sit in one. Okay, so you sit there and I get you all relaxed in the chair. You feel the leather under your hands. You feel the supple leather against your back and you're relaxed completely. Then I say to you, stand up and walk over to the other chair and sit down. And we go through the same process again. Then I tell you to look back and you're actually still sitting in the first chair.
Wow,
And then I teach you how to evaluate yourself and how to help yourself.
that's so cool.
Oh, it'll blow your mind. You'll just come out and going,
Well, I
oh.
know, I know. I mean, I went through many of your things, when many of your meditations that you have on YouTube, on your
On
YouTube
moments. Yeah.
on moments. And if anybody wants to get an idea of what that is like, I really encourage you to do that actually. So, I mean, so very many those are tools of meditation and it helped me in my own
I
growth
think there's
and it
about
continues.
16 episodes
I
actually.
only was able to find 11, but that's
Oh, okay.
okay. So I don't
They
know.
may you know YouTube is you know what YouTube's like.
Yeah,
They'll take some
they'll
time without
drop you.
even thinking.
They'll
But if
drop you.
there's definitely 11, but then I remember making 16 episodes.
Okay.
Then everybody can go in there, type in Paul Francis moments, and it'll take you to the first episode. Then you can just watch how many if you want.
Right.
But each episode has a meditation at the end, and it averages between
Right.
10 and 20 minutes long.
Right. The whole thing, which is
The
awesome.
whole, yeah,
It's awesome. Everybody has 20 minutes to spare, I think. So,
it'll help you, I promise you.
yeah, it has helped me. And thank you, Paul. I want to say good night. You have a wonderful night. I know
Thank
you
you.
probably tired as heck and you do need I, I'm going to be your doctor. You need to get some
Yes,
rest.
ma'am.
Okay. And join me again and we'll be in touch and I'll be
Faye,
watching
tell them about your guest next week. Tell
Oh,
them
my
about your
guest
guest.
next week is going to be the author of Afterlife, A Journey To, and I will be putting that notice up very shortly, maybe tomorrow. I really encourage everyone to read that book because it talks about the afterlife. He channeled it, he wrote it, and it was he calls serendipitous. This man is from Australia. He has other things that is happening. I mean, he does sessions, helps people. Had to do my homework because I don't really know him. I just was motivated inspired by him on another show that I saw, and he said he'd come on to my show. I'm honored to. And Paul, always honored to have you, but I'm just
Thank you.
amazed that people are willing to come on my show. It's just so
Don't be
awesome.
amazed. Don't be cutting. Don't be selling yourself short. I
Well, I
told
don't mean
you
to.
that you were born to do this. I told
I
you that.
Thank you. So, people, come and join me next week too, and join me tomorrow night, and join Paul on Thursday, and we'll know more as the week goes on. And I will repost it when I see it. So, love you, Paul.
Love you too, my
Love to
darling.
you and your family, and good night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Faye. Say goodnight to the big guy, and I'll
I
see you all
will.
soon.
Yes, we will
Good
see you
night.
soon. Good night.
Bye.
Night.